Hey everybody. I don't know why I always smack the desk. I'm not a violent person, so I'm not sure. I don't know what that's about. Hi, I am here, obviously, to talk about Shorty September. Yes, I have many things to talk about, but today Shorty September is on the docket. And I'm really excited about this event, and I've been watching everybody else's videos. And wow, I can't believe some people are. Heather, of course, she's hosting Soggy Expat Book Nerd, a book every day. And I think some others are also going to try to do this book every day for 30 days. Not me. Not me. No. But I am really excited about it. I'm very excited, and I have had my pile. I think I posted a picture of my pile, like a pile of possibilities, like almost a month ago. uh, so, yeah, you could say that I'm a little excited. So, I wanted to talk about it today. I've got the prompts. I'm not totally sure what's going to fit what prompt, but I may rework that later, or I don't know, I may throw the prompts out the window because I'm such a moody reader, and if I want to read something and it doesn't fit the prompt, then I'm not going to worry about it. So yeah, so let's just dive right into it and talk about what I've got here in my pile of possibilities. I've got physical books and Kindle books because I'm going to be traveling at the end of the month, and so then I'll be reading on my Kindle. Although I may read something, I may continue with the shorty reading, or I may, pick something else just to read, because I've been buying some books. I bought a lot of books. I bought a lot of books. But we'll talk about that in another video. I don't have to talk about that right now. Okay, so I think I shared a couple of these with you a few weeks ago, maybe. And this is an author I'm excited to get to, and that is Claire Keegan, Small Things Like These. You could say this was an unexpected purchase. This could be Pedro Pascal shorts. I think that's so funny. The pale and Pedro Pascal. Also for another video, I guess. But yeah, I didn't expect to buy this. I went to the bookstore and I went to get Tom Lake, and then I was like, well, I'm at the bookstore. What else can I buy? So I thought of Claire Keegan because so many people talk about Claire Keegan and think so highly of her. And even though I've got Foster, I've already got a copy of Foster on my Kindle to read for Shorty September, I'm also going to read this one. And so I'll just count this as my unexpected purchase. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Apparently her writing is just beautiful. And so that means I could get through two, and that'd be really fun. Let's see. I also shared this book that I'm excited to read, and I think this one could be an historical read. And this is Amsterdam Stories by Nescio. This is set in the early 20th century, I do believe. I did this last time, didn't I? And this was gifted to me. A friend of mine gave it to me for my birthday in July. So I'm very excited to dive into these stories and, get a different picture of Amsterdam from not super long ago, but long ago enough, certainly well before my time. That'll be really fun. The next. I don't know if I should be like reading the descriptions on all of these. I think that could take forever. The next one I have, and I think this one would go for Spanx. And the history one, that would be Elizabethan shorts. That would be this one, historical read. Not really Elizabethan, but historical. Okay, this one would be for Spanx, a book with magic or witchcraft, and that is The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince by Robin Hobb. And this is, my husband bought this. He read all of Robin Hobb's books last year and through early this year. And this is sort of like a prequel to the Realm of the Elderlings series. So it says, long before the time of chivalry Farseer, there was another indiscreet member of the royal line. Princess Caution Farseer, in defiance of her name, was headstrong and willful, destined to fall dangerously in love where she ought not. The child she bore, a witted boy known as the Piebald Prince, rose to favor despite his questionable bloodlines, but the dukes of the six duchies backed canny Farseer for the throne. And so both young men competed for power, but this was not their only struggle, for they both fell in love with the same lady. Such rivalry could only end in bloodshed. So, excuse me, I think this could be fun because I've read the Farseer trilogy, so I'll understand at least that much, even though I haven't read the whole 16 or 17 book series. I'm on the Live Ship Traders books right now. So, but this is a prequel, so yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun. All right, so what is next? This is one, it's not technically a bio, but this is for, let's see, this is Hoochie Daddy Shorts. This is a spicy read or a gossipy bio. This is a book I've read before, but I've been carrying it around and I want to reread it. And it's not a bio. I guess it's kind of spicy just in terms of scandal. And it is, maybe it's gossipy in its own way. And that is Blackwater by Joyce Carol Oates novella. And this is a sort of a fictional account of the, do you want to call it an event? Do you want to call it not a murder, but the death of, about Ted Kennedy and Chappaquiddick. So yeah, this is a fictional account of that, of a young woman who sort of becomes enamored with a senator and goes to a party and meets up with him and then proceeds to get in a car with him and drive away. So that could be kind of, I've read this before. It's pretty powerful from what I remember. So I'm looking forward to this. I tend to like her shorter fiction, especially. I like her short stories. So yeah. Okay, this one. I don't know exactly where this one might fit in. But I read Dog of the South a couple of years ago, and this is Norwood by Charles Portis. So yeah, I don't think this could go maybe for a book from the 70s or 80s. I do believe that would work. And this is no, this would be from the 60s. Norwood, the first novel by the long acclaimed Charles Portis, is an outstanding example of the unique wit and style that has made Portis one of America's greatest writers. Out of the neon desert of roller dromes, chili parlors, the Grand Ole Opry, and girls who want to live in a trailer and play records all night, comes the ex-Marine and troubadour Norwood Pratt. Sent on a mission to New York by Grady Fring, the credit king, Norwood has visions of speeding across the country in a late model car, seeing all the sights. By the time he returns home to Ralph, Texas, Norwood has met his true love, Rita Lee, on a Trailways bus, befriended Edmund B. Ratner, the second shortest midget in show business, and helped Joanne, the chicken with a college education, realize her true potential in life. As with all of Portis's fiction, the tone is cool, sympathetic, funny, and undeniably American. So I think this sounds like a lot of fun. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to fit. Maybe it'll be a modern classic because it is Charles Portis. So yeah. Okay. The next one I've got, I think this one could be kind of spicy also, but spicy also in a different way. This is sort of, this is Pleasure by Mary Gaitskill. And this is one of those books. Mary Gaitskill is, I really love her writing. And she's never going to be one to follow a politically correct line. And so this is sort of, I think, about the Me Too movement and the idea of faulty memory and boundaries and sort of, you know, not being too morally certain all the time about what is happening or what we're actually doing. It's about a 20-year friendship. It says Quinn and Margot have been friends for more than 20 years. Quinn is an extrovert and a sensualist who thrives on flirtation and ambiguity. He is at his happiest when encouraging intimate confidences from the women he meets. Always clear with him about the boundaries of their own relationship, until now, Margot has looked on his behavior with a mixture of ambivalence and affection. But when Quinn's actions are held up against a new light and his life begins to unravel, Margot tries to work towards a deeper understanding of her friend, the damage he might have caused, and the loyalty he deserves. So that could be quite interesting. I'm not sure what that's going to fall under, though. Okay. Oh, I've got here Shirley Hazzard's Cliffs of Fall. I don't know, Shirley Hazzard might be a little bit dense for this. And this is a collection of short stories, actually, I believe. Or it looks like it's actually just novellas. Oh, I don't know. Shirley Hazzard, Cliffs of Fall. Has anybody read this one? Some of these I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's a pile of possibilities. It's short little books. I've also got Joan Didion's South and West. I don't think there's a memoir. I guess this could, well, not really bio. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. And this is, I think this is a collection of writings from other road trips and maybe from other pieces that she has done that she had in magazines and things. So these aren't new pieces, but these are collected works that she wrote about her travels in the South and in the Western United States. So I always like Joan Didion. Could be pretty good. Okay. Oh, this is one that could probably go for, I should have just read out what all the prompts were and instead of just looking not looking at the camera, looking down at my list. This one would be Lodge Shorts, a book bought because you were trying to be cool. I'm pretty sure that I was just trying to be cool when I bought this one. This is Leaving the Atocha Station by Ben Lerner. And Ben Lerner, like, I bought this because it seemed like all the cool kids were reading Ben Lerner. And I wanted to jump on that train. Get it? The Atocha Station. Jump on the train. Yeah. I'm always trying to get on that cool kids train, and I'm quite bruised and ragged because I never make it. Okay. Let's see. I have, now this might be one that would be for one set in the 70s or the 80s. Hang on, I'm looking. Yeah, 1987. The Messiah of Stockholm by Cynthia Ozick. This is supposed to be really wonderful, and it doesn't say what it's about. But this is a book that I was supposed to read for a class, and then I think I actually dropped the class. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't drop the class, and I did read part of it because here I have some notes that are actually in my handwriting. So my memory is great, by the way, of those days. Wow, this is going to be as disastrous as the Barbie video, I think. Yeah. All right. So I have this little book of short stories that I got from my neighbor. I should do a video on that. It was the weirdest book haul ever. And this is a little book of short stories by Edna O'Brien called A Scandalous Woman. I guess that's her being scandalous there on the cover. I wonder if YouTube will be like, no, no paintings or pictures of women without their tops on. These are 8 stories, and this is, wow, they're really short stories, I guess. It says 8 stories, and they have a dual theme: Ireland, its people, its personality, and woman. Women betrayed or sacrificed, innocence involuntarily lost, happiness stolen or mislaid. So yeah, my next door neighbor, I've actually got a few other books in this pile, so I might as well just kind of tell the story. They own the house next door. They are trying to sell it. The house has been in her husband's family for like 4 or 5 generations. And they're leaving, and so she had a lot of books, and she was trying to clean things out. They've been getting rid of stuff for a couple of years, and she invited me over and said, hey, do you want some books? And and I thought I was going to go over there and like look through shelves and then be like, oh, I'll take this one and I'll take that one. But instead she just had like 2 giant piles of books, and she's like, here you go. And so I got this giant pile of books with all kinds of, mostly just random, they were just random and older books, which nothing wrong with that, but it was very strange, and it was very clearly like, I don't think anyone will pick these up off the sidewalk, so I'm just going to give them to you. So yeah, okay, so this is Between the Acts by Virginia Woolf. And you can see this is a very old copy. This was also from the neighbor's pile. And I don't actually know let's see. Between the Acts was the last novel written by Virginia Woolf and was published after her death in 1941. Much less difficult than The Waves, it is nearer in spirit to that novel than to The Years, for its form is highly original and its thought and language reflect the poetry and beauty of English history and English country. Its scene is an English village, and the action takes place on a summer's day when a local pageant is produced. Beneath the surface of these ordinary events and the conversation of ordinary men and women, the theme of the novel is love and hate and life and death. So that might be kind of interesting, a little short one from Virginia Woolf, and I had never actually heard of that book. So yeah, pretty fascinating. Next is John Gardner's Grendel, because I bought Beowulf and then I also bought Grendel. Some people were doing a read along of Beowulf and Grendel, and I was going to try to do it, but the books didn't come in time. And this was back a while ago. But so I still have the books. So I heard good things about this. I think Greg at another bibliophile read said that this was definitely worth picking up. So the only thing I've read by John Gardner is his really terrifying Art of Fiction. Oh no, I'm sorry, On Becoming a Novelist. That's the one that I read. It would, if you want to write, it could scare the pants off of you, but he had a lot of good advice in there. But he uses his own work as the exemplary example of what you should do in your fiction, which is a sort of an interesting approach. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, okay. This one, oh, I think, is there one that's like a horror, or there's one that's witchcraft, but yeah, okay. Anyway, this I bought. I don't actually remember why I bought this, except the premise sounded very interesting, and I don't even remember where I heard about it. This is The Seventh Mansion by Maurice Meyer. And this is actually it's technically, I think it's a YA book, and it is about a a teenager who actually falls in love with the relic of a Catholic saint. So, really unusual. I can't remember why I bought it, but has anybody read this one? I don't know if anyone who watches my channel would have read this one, but I remember I read an article also with the author and thought it sounded very interesting. So, yeah. It says Shie steals the skeleton and develops a passionate relationship with the bones and spirit of this saint. It's Saint Pancratius, whom he calls P. As Shie's bond with P deepens, so too does his relationship with the woods, private property that will soon be overrun with loggers. This could be really interesting, something very different than the usual fare. So, yeah, I don't know. How long is this video? This video is getting too long already. This I got in I used to, when I lived in the United States, I had a Powell's, I don't remember if it was quarterly or monthly. I think it was quarterly, like a Powell's subscription. And you get like a best-selling or like a new release book, a big new release book. And then they'd also send some other books along with it. I think that the author picked out. And then I don't remember which box this book came in, but this is a book of stories. It's called Gutshot. It's by Amelia Gray. And yeah, I don't really know much about it, except it's a book of short stories. I have not been reading short stories lately, so that could be very interesting. This was an ARC that I got. I think I want to say that this also came in one of those types of those boxes. This is called Tomb Song, and it's by Julian Herbert. And this author is from Mexico. It says this is an incandescent U.S. debut from Mexico for readers of Ben Lerner and Rachel Cusk. So I don't actually remember where I got this, but it's an ARC. I didn't purchase it. Yeah. It doesn't appear. Yes, it says it's translated from the Spanish by Christina MacSweeney. Tomb Song. Does anybody know about this one? It looks pretty good. Like I said, I just kind of pulled the pile, right? This one is a New York Review of Books. The Mad and the Bad by Jean-Patrick Manchette. With an introduction by James Salas and translated by Donald Nicholson-Smith. And this is a murder. I think this is like a murder mystery, sort of. Yeah, or sort of a thriller. This could be for ripped shorts, I guess. Says Michael Hartog, a sometime architect, is a powerful businessman and famous philanthropist whose immense fortune has just grown that much greater following the death of his brother in an accident. Peter is his orphan nephew, a spoiled brat. Julie is in an insane asylum. Thompson is a hired gunman and with a serious ulcer. I can't read. Michelle hires Julie to look after Peter, and he hires Thompson to kill them. Julie and Peter escape. Thompson pursues. Bullets fly. Bodies accumulate. The craziness is just getting started. So this could be interesting. And it's got a blurb from James Elroy and one from Sarah Weinman. So kind of a cool but disturbing cover there with the blood coming out of an elevator. So okay. I'm not even going to get to my Kindle options, I don't think. think those I'm just going to set aside. The next one is The Cupboard by Rose Tremaine. This was another one that was in the neighbor's pile. And this is at the age of 87, Erica March died in a cupboard. She wrapped her body in a chenille tablecloth, laid it out neatly under the few skirts and dresses that still hung on the clothes rail, and put it to death very quietly, pill by pill. She left a note, but the note made no mention of her suicide, nor of the cupboard in which she had chosen to commit it. And she had known, of course, that it would be Ralph who would discover her body, and that when he found her, he would do everything she had asked exactly as she had asked it. The Cupboard is an evocative, complex, and imaginatively perceptive novel about freedom and the will to live from one of Britain's most highly acclaimed young writers. Well, it's an older book. I think Mr. Tremaine was still a younger writer then. You know, thinking this was Rose Tremaine and then reading The Cupboard as the title, I thought maybe this was going to be cozy. I don't think it's going to be so good. Okay. Oh, the next one is Amos Oz, Touch the Water, Touch the Wind. Does anybody know this one? This was another one that was on the pile. I tell you what. As the Germans advanced into Poland in 1939, Alicia Pomeranz, a dreamy Jewish mathematician and watchmaker, takes to the wintry forests. He leaves behind his beautiful intellectual wife, Steffa. By living on their wits, they each evade the concentration camps. After the war, they build exciting new lives, Steffa in Stalin's Russia and Alicia in Israel, where, as they seek to be reunited, another war is brewing. I've not read any Amos Oz, so that could be quite interesting. It's very short. It's only like 150 pages. So, this one is the one, oh, there's one that's water on the cover. This one would work for that. Dolphin Shorts. This is another one from the neighbor. I can read all the books from my neighbor. This is called The Wedding Party, and it's by H.E. Bates. And it's a collection of 13 short stories, ranging from the humor of the picnic and early one morning to the tragedy of the Primrose Place and the drama of sorrow and beauty of the wedding party. So short stories. But that was quite a pretty cover at one time, I think. Yeah. So, and then I've got one more, and I'm not going to get to the ones that are all on my Kindle. I guess the most important one on my Kindle is Foster. So I guess I'll just see how I do. And these are small enough, maybe I will end up taking a physical book with me as well. But this last one is Letters to Alice on first reading Jane Austen. And this was another one that my neighbor passed on to me. And this is Alice, aged 18, with green spiky hair, is compelled by her betters to study the works of Jane Austen. Alice, as a child of the modern age, cannot find anything she can relate to in Jane's novels and cannot understand why her writing is so much admired. In a sequence of letters, her aunt, the distinguished novelist Fay Weldon, tries to persuade her that she would be silly not to make the effort to understand and appreciate what Jane Austen was trying to do, especially since she herself is trying to write a novel. Alice is a figment of Fay Weldon's imagination, but in these letters, she takes the opportunity of paying tribute to a great writer while exploring the craft of fiction from her own standpoint. In a unique and revealing examination of the act of writing creatively, Fay Weldon, a highly admired writer of our own day, echoes a series of letters that Jane Austen actually did send to her niece, who was trying to become a novelist, which summed up her views of what was important in life and in literature. This could be really fun. This would have been a good one for Jane Austen in July. I guess I could hang on to this one for next year, hoping that I could join Jane Austen in July next year and then read this then. So maybe I'll just put this one on the bottom of the stack. So that's really it. Those are my pile of possibilities. They're random. They are totally random. There's no theme there. They're just books that I had, and I just ran around collecting them all and made a stack and went, yay! I can get down my TBR stack. I can read some of these books, and I can read some things that are outside my wheelhouse and sort of unusual to me, and it should be pretty quick. So, yeah. Are you going to do Shorty September yourself? Let me know. Let me know if any of these sound intriguing, if there's anything you think I should read out of any of the books that I mentioned. Let me know what you're going to read, if you're planning to read along, or if you're doing it and you haven't done a video, or you're not going to do a video, you don't know. Yeah, just in general, let me know what's going on out there. I would love to hear from you. So, yeah. So thanks for hanging out, and I hope, I'm not sure how I'm going to be doing this, maybe weekly wrap-ups and things, so it's fly by the seat of your pants time here. Work's busy. I've got Dutch lessons. There's so much happening, but, you know, we'll all just do the best we can, right? That's all we got to do. Okay. Take care out there, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Oh, wait, no, and thank you. I should have said thank you to Bert at Storytime and Heather at Soggy Expat Book Nerd for hosting Shorty September. Ah, yes. Oh, yeah. I'll link their videos in the description box below, and any other good Shorty September videos that you need to watch. Okay, so now, again, signing off. Take care. Bye.